I was appointed to this role. I applied, and I was considered amongst a bunch of other
When you
candidates.
applied, did you live in Clermont County?
Yeah.
So now you don't live in Clermont County.
Yeah.
So why don't you let somebody from Clermont County be on the park board? Let me throw a simple concept at you. Commissions and boards in Clermont County, Ohio should be filled with people from Clermont County, Ohio, not people who are not from Clermont County, Ohio. I'm standing in front of the Clermont County Park District's administrative offices in Clermont Park, where I just attended the June 5th, 2025 Park Board meeting and confronted Andrew McAfee with why he feels entitled to be on the Park Board and a bunch of other stuff in Clermont County when he doesn't even live in Clermont County. Listen to what he says. But you think it's okay to not live in Clermont County and be both at the Chamber and Government Affairs and in the Park Board?
I mean,
And in the Coalition for Drug-Free Clermont?
I grew up in Clermont County. I love Clermont County. I don't have to live here to live
I
Clermont
grew up
County,
in Hamilton
so-
County and I love Hamilton County, but I don't live there, and I now live in Clermont County. You don't live in Clermont County.
Yeah, I don't understand what the problem is. I mean, obviously.
You're not a taxpayer in Clermont County. That's the
Correct.
problem.
But I work here. I spend a lot of time here. I have friends here. I grew up here. I care about my hometown, so I obviously want to do everything I can.
You don't
to
think there's
make it
people
better
that
for other
actually
people.
live in Clermont County that could be representing Clermont County on things like this?
Sure, there could be. Yeah.
Because you love Clermont County, you're entitled to be the representative for Clermont Countyans when you don't even live in Clermont
Not
County?
entitled at all for my
Why don't
seat
you
on the
love
park.
France, and then you could be on a government body in France?
I mean, I was appointed to this role. I applied, and I was considered amongst a bunch of other
When you
candidates.
applied, did you live in Clermont County?
Yeah.
So now you don't live in Clermont County.
Yeah.
So why don't you let somebody from Clermont County be on the park board?
Because I think I have something I can contribute.
What?
The voice of the business community, how we balance economic development and conservation.
Do you
the
own a
protecting of
business?
green
Have you ever
space.
owned a business?
Really, Chris?
Basically because he loves Clermont County and grew up here, he has a right to be on any of these things, and he should take precedence over actual people that live in Clermont County. The system in Clermont County is based on an insider crony system where there are plenty of better and well-qualified people that could be on things like the park board. But instead we get people who are cronies to the system on all kind of things and don't even live in the county, and then rationalize that because they love the county, they somehow have better rights or more rights than people who actually live here in Clermont County. One thing I learned during the meeting is that the park board is sitting on about $5.1 million of money. Many people have brought up that the levy that got passed some years ago for the park boards generates way more money than they need. So they're building up a stockpile. I did get a chance to ask about it. You're sitting on $5 million?
$5 million.
Yeah. So you have Fund 7200 has 3.8 million and Fund 7249 has 1.3 million?
Well,
That's-
they're in separate accounts.
Well, I think there's probably some narrative that goes along with that. We've got two big projects that are going on right now that we haven't paid on yet. And then we have a development of a park up in Loveland that's gonna cost about 2.5. The
Okay.
majority of that,
That's the grant.
we don't really carry that balance historically, but in order to pay for these projects, we've got to carry the
Okay.
balance before it comes to fruition.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get out of your hair for now. Other things in Clermont County are dying for money, like the animal shelter. But you have places like this that have an exorbitant amount of money. Some of these levies for these institutions should be looked at and potentially rolled back when they generate more money than is reasonably needed by the operations like the Clermont Park Board. I think their levy should be cut. It's something that needs to get looked into to reduce the tax burden in our property taxes, not let a bunch of bigwigs sit on $5.1 million of money and then dream up park projects in Loveland.
I recorded the whole park board meeting with using my new super 360-degree meeting room camera. You can watch that full video if you're interested. It's about 45 minutes on YouTube, and I put a link in the description.